Hey there. Okay, it looks like we are live. Guess what? We're on day 3 already. I was really looking forward to going through this. I think this is awesome. They're short and easy, but mostly I just got a ding that Nikki went live. I'll shut that off. But mostly what I love about this is that the first day I did it, I announced it in the morning. And then I went on at 4:30 and there were maybe 100 and some people that watched it. And the next day, 300 people. So, I mean, I can see all 3 platforms where they're at. And so, man, you guys just keep growing. And that did make me realize something that, I started this because of that blog and a request of a woman feeling like literally she just wants some hope. And so then seeing it grow and double so fast and people watching it, it made me realize we need this. Like, it's not like the instinct was, hey, if she needs a little hope, we probably all do. But then realizing that, we really do. Okay. So it dawned on me, I didn't do any teaching with you guys. One thing that you can do, it helps with analytics, is to put a comment in the post. So if you can take a minute, honestly, I guess I would love to see it be a homework piece. So hang tight a minute, right? And I'll start giving our tiny little lesson and you can post something in there. But if it's sometimes people, when they go live, they'll say, oh, put your favorite color down. Well, Facebook's wise to that. Like I don't want to just do it to have more people see it and it's aimless. I want us to have, our heart behind, almost like a challenge or a commitment. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's get started. I'm super happy about this one. This one is, I bet you it's going to get to a few of you. So it's day 3. Faith means that you say yes before you know. Like, yeah, you say yes to God before you even know what he's asking you. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to go back. I just see like 6 of you on now. I'm going to get us back on track in case you're just popping on for the first time. Day 1 was, these are short little 5-10 minute things. So day 1 was God speaks to us personally. Whether we know it or not, he is speaking to us all day, every day. Literally, Dean, our pastor here that wrote this book, is saying, and what else? And what else? And another thing, and another thing. Day 2 was a lesson he learned from his daughter. And basically, it was this challenge, like, if I give myself to God, then everything I have is God's. And that concept and wrapping it around our brain and like we fight with that a little bit, but should we? And there's go listen and replay because it'll give you a new insight for this, because if you give it all to God, he can work on it all and he can bless it all. So why hoard it? Why keep it for yourself? And why be as awesome as you are? Don't you want a little, like, instead of just being really awesome human, you want superpower on this, right? Okay, and then today's lesson is, let me find it. Oh yeah, faith means saying yes before you really know what you're being asked. Okay, so there was this nice little story I'm going to tell you real quick, but Pastor Dean then had a friend, a mentor, who passed away. And he was at a funeral and came to realize that this gentleman, Clyde, I believe his name was a friend and a mentor to a whole bunch of people. Sometimes I think that when we think of how God's going to use us, we think it's got to be in these crazy big ways, right? And we think, oh no, I'm not going to go to another country and be a mission worker. I'm not going to get on a stage somewhere or write a book or whatever. And that is just not true. Like, we don't even realize how impactful we are on our own children, that then maybe they will go out and reach masses. Or we have no idea of the people at our work, the people uptown, the person that sits beside us at church or on the bus. It doesn't matter. We just have no idea how much we're impacting others, or could, and we're maybe missing it. So day 3 is like saying yes to God before you even know what he's asking. So Clyde then has this funeral, and Dean is at this funeral, and this is where the lesson comes from. The pastor, I hope this is right, that he came from a funeral, but the pastor comes up through the church, right? You can just envision this. And, it's people that don't know what to expect, right? When you go to a funeral or a wedding, you're there for the first time. You don't know the pastor's style or anything, but instead of like going up to the pulpit, he goes and he sits down at the piano and he starts playing music, but not really saying anything yet. And, you know, you can just feel yourself. You'd kind of be like, gosh, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden, the pastor starts singing, "Yes, Lord." And he says it over and over again. And I like biblically, those of us who've read like the angels repeating these little 3-word strings of sentences. You know, you can just like the power of it and the repetition of it. And you're sort of like, you know what? Yes, Lord, you know, it's gaining momentum, right? And then he stops. And then he comes up to the pulpit and he says, "Lord, you've heard our answer. Now what's your question?" Like, do we have this kind of conviction and this kind of desire to do what God is asking us to do, to step into our call, whatever that may be? And so the rest of this week is really kind of this challenge about thinking, you know, where is God calling you? What are the things that he's asking you? And are you making yourself available for him? You know, it takes a lot of faith to do this. It's scary. I've had this before where I just almost cringe at the thought of like asking God again, and I do it every day, but asking like, what do you want me to do today, God? You know, like praying bold prayers. Like we are afraid. I believe that very few of us pray bold prayers because we're afraid of what he might do. Like he might say yes and actually put us in a place that we're so uncomfortable. I would like to challenge the entrepreneurs that I work with, or even my coaching clients for personal coaching, is I want you to get so comfortable at being uncomfortable with God. I want you to like ask him to reveal to you the things that you're doing wrong so you can, yes, be like, aware of it, and that you can lay it down and that you can repent. We have done things that we aren't asking for forgiveness for because we don't even know we've done them. But we aren't doing things in the future that he's asked us to do because we aren't even aware of it. So let's ask, not knowing. That is the challenge for today. Ask and let it be blind faith. Like keep in mind the word blind faith. Like that's not faith at all. If God literally like plopped in front of you, and I've had him speak to me a couple times, but you're going to obey. Listen, if God comes in front of you, all that almighty, and speaks some words, believe me, you'll do it. Like you will feel the power. You will know, you won't doubt, you will do it. That's hardly faith. I mean, it is. I feel like little like things coming at me, but you could literally be asked to do something and you have no idea and you do it anyway. You're nudged and you don't know if it's right. So how do you do that? Well, you go out taking him with you. Like blind faith means you still go with him. You say, God, okay, I don't know if this is right, but I'm going to head out this way. I think this is what you're asking me. Come with me. Holy Spirit, come around me. Come with me, because if I'm on the wrong track, I know you'll redirect me. I'll listen. I'll respond to you. If you give me feelings that I'm going the wrong way, I'll turn around. Just come with me. So what right now, for your homework, write down what you feel like you should be saying yes to. Those little nudges that you've gotten. And don't measure with anyone else. No comparing. Is it a family member that you've needed to call and touch base with? Somebody you've needed to say, I am sorry to, or somebody that doesn't deserve an I'm sorry, just like you didn't deserve Jesus's I'm sorry, and you're going to give it anyway? Or is it maybe something that you feel like you're supposed to do to advance your spiritual gifts? Maybe you feel like, I don't even know what my gifts are, God, and surely he will bless you. He will bless you when you use your talent, the story of the talents. So if you don't know your talent, try to figure it out. Make that your challenge. What if you have a talent and you haven't doubled down on it? Like you've buried it, like the story, right? So like right now, this is your homework for today. Make your yes be yes. And if you don't know, just say that to God. Just say, I don't know what you're calling me to, God. I feel like I'm supposed to do this. Come with me. All right. So now I just kind of went on my soapbox. Let me look at his questions a little better here, because these are things that I want you guys to write down. So what specific areas in your life are you sensing the need to say yes to? Okay, we got that one right. Where God, and you've been maybe saying maybe instead of yes. He says, well, maybe you've been saying, well, maybe if you open this door, God, then I'll go. Well, maybe if you like send a blue bird and it lands right on my windowsill at 3:00, like this is the kind of stuff we do. So just know, just go and take God with you. Number 2, name them in the line. So write them out. Number 3, is there someone with whom you would feel comfortable sharing these with? Okay, I'll tell you, this works. I have accountability partners. I've had one my whole life. Carrie Oberbrunner, my publisher, was my accountability person for a year and a half, and that was when I grew the most. Get an accountability partner, somebody who knows God, because we breathe whatever we have in us out to others. And so if I've got a whole bunch of the world in me, that's great, but you got access to the world. Why do you need more of that? I want you to have a little bit of extra God power. And so get to godly people. And so they're breathing that into you. Okay. Is there someone, no, number 4. Also, is there someone in your life either does not know Christ yet? So he's challenging you, which I believe, that maybe whatever you're supposed to do has to do with discipling. Well, we know this is the Great Commission. Like, that's what we were told. We were told to go make fishermen. We were told, like, this was what we're all supposed to do. So when you sit there, and me and I sit there and we say, I don't know what my call is. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. It's to get yourself good and close to God so that you can share it with someone else. That's your call. And it's teaching your own kids that. It's teaching your spouse that. It's, if you got that covered, okay, now move on to, so my books, you guys don't even realize this. Like these books, book number 1 is all about getting you close to God. This is getting your family close to God. My 3rd book is getting your community close to God. And the 4th book is getting the nation close to God. Like, this is our commission. And you really, whoever's on here, and like it was 100 and some the first time, and many hundreds more the next time. So who knows how many people are going to watch this? But I'm telling you, if you're listening and not hopping off, God is calling you. And so it might be like just with somebody uptown. So next, number 8 is God has designed us to encourage each other. Like that, we are to edify, we are to inspire and equip each other. And so do we do this with our very own children? Do we do this when somebody makes a mistake and screws up? Do we offer them grace? And do we lead people back to God because of how we behave and encourage each other? And people want more of that, right? And number 9, begin praying, looking now at areas where you can make a difference in the world. And so let's review. Day 1 was all about God speaking to you. He does. He speaks to you, and just praying like, I don't hear God. It's help me hear it, God. That's it. That's day 1. Day 2 then is I lost it. Oh, there we go. The God's room, your stuff is God's stuff. Everything in you, when you give yourself to God and you give yourself to Christ, like He can use you in great ways. And don't own things, and don't try to take things and take control of everything. Give it, let God have at it. Let Him work in you and do great things in you. And then day 3 is now, okay, all right. Yes, God, just say yes. Just say yes. You can do this. All right, guys, that's it. That's all we're going to have for today. They're short and easy. Go journal. Today, write down in the comments. I told you I was going to do that. I'd say, what is the one thing that God's nudging you is pretty personal. So I think maybe if we say, maybe what you think you're talented, you or you can say somebody that you're going to encourage. So either in the comments say, you know what, this is a gift and talent of mine. I know it is, and I haven't stepped out in it and I want to. Or my child is gifted in this, or my boss is gifted in this, or whatever. And that's my challenge. In the comments, put a post in there, and then let's just see how many more people we can get this out to. So you guys are doing great. I've enjoyed it all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.